Hi, fourth grade, it's Mrs. Boswell. And this week in Language Arts, we're going to be reading the passage Hercules' Quest, retold by Martina Melendez and illustrated by David Harrington. This week, we're going to be focusing on this statement. I can use schema and context clues as a way to figure out the meaning of words. So, what is schema? Okay. Schema is all of the information that's stored in our brain, all of that background information. Over here, when we are visualizing when we're reading and we're visualizing our thoughts, we might be reading about a rainbow. You might have that in your brain. You might visualize that. Okay. Here, maybe they're visualizing a dragon. Okay. Or maybe it's magic if you're reading Harry Potter. So our schema is what we visualize, and it's that background information that we have. So we're activating our background knowledge. So schema is like our mental file cabinet. Okay, it's where we store all of our information. Okay, it says our schema helps us make meaning and understand what we read. We put together what we read with our schema to make meaning. Good readers activate their schema before, during, and after reading. Our schema grows and changes as we have more life experiences, because even sometimes it may not be something we've read, but maybe it's something we've seen with our eyes, or maybe it's something we've heard with our ears. That is all that background knowledge that we have, that's all contained inside our brain. Okay, that helps us when we come to unfamiliar words. Okay, so we're going to be focusing on schema today. So let's build a little bit of our background. We're going to preview this topic over here. And as I read it, I want you to be thinking of these questions. What did you learn from this preview of the topic? And what do you know about Greek mythology? So I'm going to read this over here for you. Okay, and I want you to be thinking of those two questions. It says, traditional tales. A traditional tale is a story that gets passed along through the years by word of mouth. Each culture has stories that people tell and retell. A myth is one kind of traditional tale. Myths often include gods, goddesses, heroes, and monsters. The heroes of myths demonstrate the strength, cleverness, and courage needed to meet challenges. Myths reflect the beliefs of a culture. Hercules' Quest is a Greek myth that tells about the adventures of the mighty Hercules, the son of the god Zeus. I bet as soon as I just read about the mighty Hercules, the son of the god of Zeus, you already started visualizing things in your head or going and grabbing some of that background knowledge that you already knew. So let's talk about it, okay? In class, we're going to do an inside-outside circle. If you're at home, what I want you to do is be thinking of these questions, okay? And then I want you to share it with either your stuffed animal, maybe mom and dad, or maybe a sibling. It says, what did you learn from the preview of this topic? What do you think we're going to be learning about this week? What do you already know about Greek mythology? Okay. Oh man, and I'm going to tell you, I have so much background knowledge, but I've also had more life experiences. But here's the fun thing. I remember, and I've been listening to my students because they've been begging to read this story, and I'm so excited for you guys this week, that they really love Greek mythology. And one of their favorite authors, Rick Riordan, writes a lot about the Greek mythology. So this week, look at that background knowledge I've already created. I already know that Rick Riordan, and I'm sure many of you fourth graders know who that author is, has written many different stories about Greek mythology, and you can make connections to that. Okay, so again, we're going to use our background knowledge to help us understand vocabulary words as we read about Hercules' Quest. Now, here's the other thing I want to talk about is different people have written about Greek mythology. A lot of you know about Rick Riordan and what he's written, but sorry, bless me. But this week we're reading about another author and her point of view of Hercules' Quest. So it may be a little bit different than what maybe Rick Riordan has written. Okay, but can we still use that background knowledge? Absolutely. So here we go. All right, our first word that we're going to work on is acquire. Everybody say that inside their head. Acquire. acquire. Okay, we're going to read this paragraph, or I'm going to read it to you. As I read it, I want you to try and activate your background knowledge or our schema to help us figure out the meaning of this highlighted word, acquire. So here I go. I want you to be thinking, what does that word mean? How can I figure out that word using my schema or background knowledge? It says, it was fortunate for the hero Hercules that he was born in winter, which gave him plenty of time to acquire strength to fight serpents the following spring. The angry goddess Hera, who possessed a great deal of power, dropped the serpent into the baby's cradle. They slithered through baby Hercules' blankets, hissed at him, and prepared to strike. Now that I've read it, what do you think acquire means using our background knowledge? Okay, so I'm thinking acquire. I'm going to read it one more time for that sentence. It was fortunate for the hero Hercules that he was born in the winter, which gave him plenty of time to acquire strength. And I see that there's that word strength after acquire. So I know it's something about my strength. And I know that you don't just have, this is my background knowledge, so I want you to be thinking about it, is I know I don't have all these muscles and the strength right away. I have to kind of build my strength. So I wonder if acquire has something to do with building over time, because I also see it has plenty of time. So to me, I think acquire means I have to build up to have that strength. So I wonder if baby Hercules had to build or acquire his strength. Okay, so this is just one way of building that background. Okay, you guys are going to be doing that today on our lesson. Okay, so things we know, okay, about Hercules. Hercules was very strong. It says that here. I also know that from other stories, he fought many enemies and won the battles. And I do know that he had to train and work out. So what do you think acquire means using our background knowledge? Go ahead and share with a partner, with mom and dad, or brother or sibling, or maybe your favorite stuffed animal. Okay. All right. If you're saying that acquire is to build upon, you're correct. Okay, I will have to build up my strength. And if I put it in there, which gave him plenty of time to build up his strength to fight serpents, would that make sense? Yeah, it's just another way to say acquire. So today I'm so excited for you guys are going to use something called graffiti boards. And if you notice the background picture here, noticing my word again. The background knowledge here is graffiti that has been drawn on walls of a building, okay? And we're going to be using this same kind of concept to help us with our vocabulary words, okay? And in this picture, you kind of notice that there are two hands holding each other. So the background knowledge I have is that together we can solve problems if we work together. That's kind of what maybe that picture means to me. Now, here's the other thing. Other people might interpret this graffiti board a little differently, okay? So be thinking of how you might think of words. So today in class, it says we're going to use graffiti boards to show our background knowledge of words, okay? And around the room are vocabulary words. Students will be drawing pictures or writing words to show what they think the word means using their schema. Remember, no one is wrong because each of us thinks differently and processes information differently. Be creative. I'm going to go to the next screen. This one is for if you're at home, okay? If you're at home, we're still going to use our graffiti boards to show our background knowledge of words. On the next few slides are vocabulary words. Students will be drawing pictures or writing words to show what they think the word means using their schema. And remember, schema is our background knowledge. Remember, no one is wrong because each of us thinks differently and processes information differently. I just want you to be creative, okay? Draw pictures and write words so that I understand that you know what that word means. So here is our first word, okay? Our first word is unfortunate. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and read about unfortunate. It's in this paragraph. It says, Hercules laughed at the silly snakes coiled up like piles of rope. He laughed at their silly noises, and then he killed them with his bare hands. It was clear that Hercules was no ordinary baby boy. He was a son of Zeus, king of the gods. It was unfortunate for Hercules, however, that Hera was jealous of her husband's affection for his son. Hera wanted Zeus's attention on her. When the snakes failed to hurt Hercules, she came up with another plan. I'm going to go back to that word unfortunate. It was unfortunate for Hercules, however, that Hera was jealous of her husband's affection for his son. All right, so I'm going to come over here, and you guys get to do this today. But I can already see one thing I'm going to do. I'm going to write the word un up here, UN, because I know that that is a prefix. Un means not, okay? So I might write the word un and the word not. So I would say not, and then it would leave the rest of my word fortunate, okay? And then I might put in what I think about what does fortunate mean, okay? And I might even start drawing pictures. Maybe it's a picture of Hercules. You guys get to decide. These are your vocabulary words, okay? So you're going to draw pictures and write words to help me see if you understand what this word unfortunate means using your background information or schema. So you're going to do the word unfortunate, coerce, boasted, and ceased. And our last one is resourceful. So again, for each of these words, you are going to read about it first. Then over here, you're going to use your schema, your background knowledge, and you're going to draw pictures and words to help your teacher understand whether you understand what does this word resourceful mean. Okay, so you're going to use pictures and words to help us understand if you know what these words mean. So let me go back through those. So I've got resourceful, ceased, boasted, coerce, unfortunate. Okay, and you're using your graffiti board, okay, to help us understand the meaning of each of these words. Good luck today.